All right, welcome to this class. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a flyer and how to upscale your image. If your client provided you an image that is not high quality, there are ways whereby you can actually work on those images and make them pop like you would want them to be. So I'm going to start my design. I will create preset detail is UI post UTME flyer, and I'm going to make sure I'm using Artboard, and my resolution is 120 so that my PC doesn't lag. Color mode is RGB. Now, when you use Artboard, your color mode can only be RGB. But when you unclick Artboard, then you can use grayscale, CMYK, and so on. So I'm using Artboard. 8-bit is okay. I don't want my PC to lag. Or let me make it 16-bit so that the color will pop. Background content, color profile should be Adobe or standard RGB. So let's work with I don't know, let's work with Adobe RGB. Let's work with Adobe. So let's start. Create. All right. Now this is our working this is what we are working on. Now, this is the workspace that we are working on. Now I want to import my image. I want to make a background and I want to start doing my design. So let me start with background. I want to use a gradient background. I'm going to be using, because I'm a big fan of purple, so I'm going to be using this purple like this, more like pink though. Coming, let me make it much more purple, up like that. All right, now I've chosen, you can see how I choose my colors. I chose them right here, right? Then I want to go here and say, go to gradient view, basic. Then I'll choose what I already have here, like that. So that's okay with me. And okay, let me make it like this. Okay, now what I want to do is that I want to add effects, right? I want to add effects to the image. So I'm going to allow the bright part to be around one corner, like this. I can reverse that. And see that the brightness is coming from here, but I need to scale it up a bit so that it would, yes, it will distribute properly. Let me see. All right, this is perfect for me. Now what I want to do is that I want to import my weird looking image. This is the image of the client. It is somehow actually. Look at it. Very easy, not very clear, and I have to work with this for a very nice flyer. So how do I go about working with this? Well, I won't do much. I'll just remove the background. I go to here, quick selection to select subject. I'm going to load for a while and subject will be selected. Let's wait for it. So selecting subject now. Subject has been selected, so I'm going to mask it. This is mask. You can see that it's not blending with the background at all. But no problem, we're still going to work with it like that. So this is good. I mean, isn't it? So now what do I want to do next? Okay, now I have my image, I have my gradient background, I have my image. I want to start working on the design. So I have the design content already. I believe I have it right here. Design content is right here. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, this is it. So I normally send my design content, whatever the client sends to me, I will make sure I have it as a copy so that I can just be copying and pasting it on Photoshop because that's much easier. So it is demystify UI prostituted with attribute mode and so on and so forth. So let's go on that. Demystify. So let's start with the text. So this is our subject. So a new layer above subject. So that's our text. It says demystify. So what am I working with? I'm working with what we call Go Bold low plus. I'm working with Google Plus, so demystify. I'm going to make it very big because I want a bold design. Demystify. Very good. So let me come back here so that I can always copy and paste. Demystify UI post UTM. Copy. Okay, good. Demystify UI post UTM. Then with Ajabu Gold. So this one I want to use something like Montserrat, Hopkins, or Satoshi. So let me just use Montserrat. Semi bold with U now. Let me bring this closer with Ajabu Gold. So copy and Ctrl V. Okay, so that is perfect. That's perfect already. So what else do I want to do is I want to start working on those texts. I want the text to kind of pop very well, and I want them to have a little bit of depth in them. So I'm going to do this. Click on this FX drop shadow. Now when I'm using my shadow, I want to make sure the shadow I'm using has this color inside it, but darker. Do you get that? So increase the opacity so I can see my shadow, drag it down a little bit, increase the sizing, decrease the opacity. Now, what I want is for this shadow, you might not see it very well, but there's a shadow here. But I want that shadow to apply on top of this UI system. So I'll bring the Mystify up. So you can now see that that shadow is affecting the UI system. See? See, you can see that. Mystify UI system. The post UTM, let me use small letter. Post UTM or post UTM. So I think this works for me. Okay. All right. So now I want to make my demystify a little bit smaller because UI post system is taking priority in this design. So now I want to add shadow to this UI post system. So I'll just hold on Alt, drag this down, and it is applied on it also. So it is also affecting the Ajabu. Let me bring this up. Now I want to make sure that this Ajabu wood has another color that pops. So I'm going to choose the brighter color spectrum. This, or make it this like that. No, I'm just manipulating the colors again. So it's the same color anyway, just different hues and saturation. All right, so different tones and saturation. Sorry. Now I want to add. I believe that this image as it is, it's not bad. It's not bad the way it's placed. And what do I want to do? Okay, I want to blend these down parts like this, right? I want to blend these down parts. So what will I do is that I will come here, subjects. On top of this subject, I'll create a mask. Then I'll hold my G for gradient 2. Once I click G to pop this up, that's gradient 2. Then I will now come like this from down to up. You can see how it faded it into the background. Can I add more? Yeah. I think the first one is okay. Yeah, this is fine with me. So what I want to do now is that I want to now add a kind of rectangle above the image like this. There's a reason for that, just to add a little bit of depth and nice effect. But it should be dark, not bright. It should be the dark one here. You can choose it here. V. Then mask it, hold on your gradient, then drag it down a little bit, like to the center like that. So you can see what I just did here. So this one is on top. The other one was just to fade the subject, but this one can fade some other things you get. And let me just call it fade rect. So close. So this is my text. So G, Ctrl G, texts. All right, this is actually making sense already. Now what I want to do is I want to add some details, right? I want to add some details. But in order to add those details, I need to add, a like placeholder. So how will I add my placeholder? Go to your shape, rectangle 2, create a square. Okay, let's start with a smaller square like this. So create a smaller square like this. Now after creating this smaller square, just round it up to around 40 pixels. 40. Perfect. It's very small, but it's perfect. Now I don't want this box to have a color per se. So I'll remove the fill to like 18. Then I can change it to white color. When you double click on this, it will allow you to choose color. So I'll pick white color. Then I'll now go to FX, which is effects, stroke it. Now when I'm stroking it, this is where I will be technical. Stroke should be gradient. It should be a white plus a gray. So color, white plus gray. You can see that. So see the effect, it's giving that glass effect. So 2 points is okay, I think. Let me use like 3 or 4. Let me use 3. And it shouldn't be outside, it should be inside. Stroke. So when you are creating a glass effect, your stroke should be inside, like this, not outside. Then your scaling should be 100 sharp, depending on what you want. You can tweak it like this. Opacity 3 is okay for the glass. So I've created the first glass. Let me drag it down a little bit. Perfect. Now what I want to do next is to add more stuff. So on top of this, I have, okay, not this. This is the prompt we are using later. So we have highest ever UI positive term score 95/100, jam score 335. So I want to add this. So I don't want to say highest ever because, okay, I will say highest ever, but there's a way I can put that. So let's add two shapes like this. Now the first one will be white, be like a white shape. Round it up to around that 40. 40 is actually too much for this, so let's use 25 for this guy. Compare. So now I want to add ingredients. Now it might be subtle, but it's actually gonna work. It's gonna be helpful. So I'm gonna put this on 90 degree, this ingredient. Then I'm gonna choose my upper parts to be very white, the normal white, the FFFF. Then the lower part should be gray, like this, just coming down a little. Let me add it down a little. So that's a gray. But I can see that it's not really affecting it. So I'm going to drag it up a little. So it's not affecting it very well. Then I will now inner shadow. Inner shadow should be white. FFFF. Then I will increase the opacity of my inner shadow. Let me zoom in a little so that you can see what's going on. I will choke it a little. And the size should, okay, this should be normal. I don't know if this is working already. Okay, this is already working. Okay, I don't know why, but this white is not really, showing very well. So I'm going to go to gradient overlay again. Let me make this gray very, very gray, like that. And the scaling should be 100. Okay, very good. Can I stroke it? There's no need for stroke actually. So this is actually okay because it's just white. You might not know, but this is actually nice. Then I want to add another one. I'll just drag this down a little. Now this one will have another gradient. Now this is where the niceness comes in. You want to add colors that will make your design pop. I want to add red, a really bright one, and a really dark one around here. Good. You can see that. Then I'll press OK, go to inner shadow, and I'll use a bright red. You can see this the way it's popping, right? So this is better. Now I want to work on that shadow because I realized that it's not, the scaling needs to be worked on. I'm coming, maybe this part needs to be darker. And my inner shadow, I can work on that. Size can't be too much. I can't choke it too much. And what else? Distance, choke. Okay, this is not working quite the way I would expect it. Probably because I'm using Adobe RGB color. But then let's continue. So I want to centralize this guy. So I'll just Control G and group them. Then I'll click on this other one. Then I'll say here, here, this part and this part. So it's now centralized. I believe you understand that. So now that it's centralized and I have that, what I want to do next is I want to put the text on it. I want to say UI prostitute me score 95/100. So I'm gonna be using, I'm still going to be using this guy. That's Montserrat. So I can't use that color. I have to use another color, which is black. I'm gonna use black like that. So I want to now edit it. So I'll put it on all caps. I'll put it on all caps like that. Then after putting it on all caps, I want to reduce the text size to fill inside here like that. Okay, now I've done that. I want to centralize it as well. So UI prostitute me score 95/100. I can also add the jam score. The jam score, which is jam score 335. So Control V. Now you might be wondering, this thing is actually small, right? But it's not too small because it's a social media flyer. It's an e-flyer rather. And one thing about e-flyer is that they can be viewed on phone, so you can zoom in. So the only thing you can do is just make this a little bit bold, like that. Very good. You get. So I'm going to bring the shadow here. Hold on Alt, drag that shadow effect, put it here. Okay, that's a mistake though. Effects and yeah. What's going on? This effect. Okay, I'm coming. Let me just drag it. This. Okay, I think I get that. So the shadow, are you with me? You have to drag it like this and add it. You can see I added it. So because I already have an effect on this, so I add it to this as well. You can see what's going on now. This gradient, I'm not this color, I don't know, it can actually be better than this. I don't know why it's like that. Okay, so this is actually okay with me. So now, highest ever prostitute score. Copy. Control V. All right, so this is perfect. Then I'll use white color. is actually nice. This is nice. So um now I want to add more box, right? I can just copy this guy. But let me see. Okay, let me use a different box. It's getting somehow now. Okay, let me just add another. So I'm gonna add another box. Okay, so this is perfect. Now because this color is not is blending, I don't want that. So I want mm, okay, this is okay. So now I want to round it up to the same degree of this. So that's 40. Oh, sorry. 40. Good. Perfect. Perfect. So now I want to add text. So I want to now say free science tutorials for aspirants of so so so. So free science tutorial to aspirants of copy, Control V. I want this to be big. So aspirants of align it like that. Then I'll just bring it to this side. Then increase text size like that. So I want to centralize it. So this is good. Then I want to increase this one to balance. Correct. So I want to bring this down a little. Now, for who, which is medicine, dentistry, and other medical engineering courses. So other medical engineering course is going to be a long one. So let me copy this. So I can reduce the size of this guy. I'll just come here. Okay, I'll come here. I can reduce it easily. I'll just reduce the height. Then center. Now I want to use a blue gradient here. You might be thinking the color is too much. No, to make it pop, add it. And I'm not adding it in such a way that it's a major. It's not a major. So see that. Then this. See that. Inner shadow should also be more. Okay, I want to make this brighter. Okay. So now I realize that this shadow is actually too much. So let me work on it. Okay, let me drag it up like this. This is good. This is good. So then Alt copy it. I want to make two of it for the medicine and dentistry. Like that. Perfect. Let me make it align. Okay, good. So now I want to change the color of this one too. Then I will change this one to yellow. You'll be like, Hey, are you using too much colors? No, it make it actually come out well. You get. So double click or click like this. So like that. Then a brighter yellow, inner shadow. This is actually very, very nice. So I want to add, let me drag it up a little. Yes, this has the rest aspirants of, so I can reduce this thing here too. Yeah, perfect. So aspirant of what? Okay, let me just align everything here. Let me do this group. Did I get that right? I want to select this. Okay, go back. Select this, select this, select this. Control G. I've grouped them together. Colors for reds. Then this guy. So I'm gonna click on this guy, click on this guy, and then align them together. Perfect. So now it's like left aligned. Yeah, I think it was right. So let me okay, let me click this and the three signs, whatever. Control T and drag it to this side a little. This is good because I will put something here later. That's why I'm doing that. Alright, so I want to work on this drop shadow as well. It's too much. It's too, you know, it's coming too much down. But then for this guy too. Good. All right. So what are those departments? Let's copy them. Medicine, copy. Control V. Medicine is bigger. So white color will contrast with that. Then other departments, the medical engineering process. Now this one is much, so I'm going to make it very, very small. So just centralize. Good. Then dentistry. Now, I must tell you the truth. White cannot be used with yellow. You have to use black. Always use black with yellow. This is not the first time I'm seeing it actually. So always use black with yellow. Dentistry. Okay. Dentistry. Very nice. So let's go what we have done so. Nice, right? Okay. Now I want to add a glass around here. So I'm going to copy this glass. Like that. I want to bring it down. Good. Then I want to round it up more. I see that is now making sense. I want to work on this shadow again also. It's to deflect it downwards. Okay, good. Now this is actually coming out nice already. So let me now add this guy down here. Now this is looking very complicated, but it's actually not. You just have to like, you know, follow step by step and also, you know, create this thing step by step. It's like layering, you get. Now this is nice. This is nice. This is nice. So let me put city. Now I don't have to put city again because of course I've worked on this design before. So I'm just going to go to my pictures. I'm gonna drag it in. So I'm dragging my old design in here. This is the old one I worked on. And then I want to crop it out. Ctrl J. Then I can dispose this. Can you see that? So I want to add date and all. You know how to add your date, you know how to add all those stuff too. So let me just go to my downloads. I have date icon. Copy, put it here. Now, because it's a white background, just use your E, increase tolerance. It will tell you to rasterize. Click again, it will remove the background. So E is for removing background when you have just a white background. You get that? So yeah, I'm gonna reduce it like that. I'm gonna use a white color for this because I don't need it to be designed like that. White, collect. So that's perfect for me. So I want to class that on. That's what I want to do. Let me copy this guy. So class that on. Let me use 30, 35. Class starts on Monday. Now I want to paragraph it like this. Then the one down has to be bigger, of course. Or both, shall let me even make it both bigger. Then I'll make the Monday bolder like that. So Control Shift B. Okay, sorry, Control Shift B. Extra bold. Let me zoom in. Now, because the bold is not okay, Monday, then this class, I don't want it to be bold at all. So Control Shift B, Control Shift B, then save. This is okay. So this is perfect. The location is close WhatsApp group. So I'll use this guy. So erase, 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 erase. Let me use it like that. Let me use it like that. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So I want to now say close WhatsApp group. Closed WhatsApp group. So that's actually perfect. So now, the major reason you are here is not just to learn how I design like this, but to know how I will upscale this image. So let's work on the image. Let's go to subject. Now, hold on your brush. There are different types of brush. First, I want you to duplicate this subject, Ctrl J. Then I want you to merge the group. The other one off it. Then apply layer mask for this guy. Now you see for this guy, I want you to go to your brush, go to mixer brush 2, then zoom in. You can see now I'm using my mixer brush 2. Now I will hold on Alt, click on here, then I'll try to smoothen those areas. So I'm clicking Alt as I'm doing each side. Now, why am I doing this? I'm trying to smoothen it up from my own end, all right? Such that by the time I try to upscale it with AI, it's going to give me a perfect something. So this is good. Now the hair, I can work on the hair also, like this. You can see how I'm selecting this part. I use this tool, quick selection tool. So I'm trying to use it to select just the parts that I want. Like that. So you can see that I've selected the hair. I will now Control J it, Control U it, and then lightness. Hey, not that. Let me reduce saturation. So I want to merge these guys. Control. Then I want to select modify, contract, then mask. So this is my like this is my final render. So I'll now use AI to work on this image only. All right. I'm gonna use AI. So that will be the next thing now. So let me quickly render it. Control Shift Alt W. Let me quickly render it. And then I will import it to AI. Let me pause the video for now. All right. So this is ChatGPT image 2.0, normal ChatGPT that has image 2.0, of course. So I'm going to be imputing the image artboard one. I'll paste it like this. Now, the prompt I'm going to use to upscale the image is actually very simple. I came up with it. You just have to talk to it as if you are talking to another person. Control V. So balance the retouching on the boy's face and make it sharper, glossy. Just the boy's image should be retouched. So I'll now send the prompt. So analyzing image, creating image, you have to wait for that to be done. All right, so ChatGPT is done now. This is the final stuff. So it has upscaled it and it has given us a final draft. So I'm going to save it. So using that simple prompt, I'm going to be pasting the prompt in the comments so that you can also see it. So using that simple prompt, you upscale your image from low quality to higher quality that matches, what you're trying to actually do. It's taking time to save. So this is our final draft. You can see it here. You can see the image is sharper. The image is sharper now and all that. So what I want to do is that I don't want to end it here. Now, Control Shift, Control G. Now this is everything I've worked on. This. So I want to bring this guy in now as the top, as the very top, because this is my finished. Now I want to filter, camera raw filter, and add some filter to make this nicer. So shadow, reduce the whites or increase. Okay, reduce the whites, increase the black. Texture, increase texture. Yield, reduce clarity, increase the S a little, just a little tweak. All right, vibrance, a little bit vibrance, reduce saturation. So I've used camera raw filter. So this is after, this is before, this is after, this is before, this is after, this is before, this is after, this is before. So let me quickly add something again. So on this demystify, I did something. I made this a little bit different. So I'll just add a circle. I'll add a circle like that. So Control G. So that's that. So demystify. Actually, that's not how I did mine, but you can walk around, just add circle and stuff like that. So let me just do it because, yeah. So you can see that it's actually finished work. If you look at this on your phone, it's gonna come out very, very well. And if you post on social media, it's gonna blow up. So that is how to create this flyer step by step. Make sure to like and subscribe.